Hello everyone, this is Dr. Sheenam Bansal. I hope all of you are doing well. Today we will start congenital vertical talus. So first of all, how the patient will present to you. Patient will complain to you about deformity in foot present since birth, often noticed when patient starts to walk. Toeing out when walking, difficulty to fit shoes. These were the complaints of the patient. On examination, you will see severe uncorrectable equino-valgus deformity of hind foot, rocker bottom foot, that is loss of medial longitudinal arch with prominent rounded talar head as lowermost part of arch. Forefoot is abducted, pronated and dorsiflexed with fixed dorsal subluxation of navicular over talar head. Lateral toes are outward looking and everted. Soft tissues, tendons of tibialis anterior, long toe extensors and 3 peroneae on dorsolateral side of foot are contracted. Deep creases inferior and lateral to lateral malleolus, tendo-achilles contracture, callostes beneath anterior end of calcaneus and along medial border of foot superficial to talar head. Tendons of peroneus longus brevis and tibialis posterior are tight and may come to lie anterior to malleoli, acting as dorsiflexors rather than plantar flexors. Now, essential components of deformity: fixed equinus at ankle, fixed dorsal dislocation of navicular over talar head. Always additionally examine spine for meningomyelocele, neurofibromatosis, hips and knees. Equino-valgus may be compensatory to knee deformity. In this X-ray, you can see rocker bottom foot, dorsiflexion at forefoot, and equino-valgus deformity at hind foot. In this X-ray, you can see abduction, dorsiflexion at forefoot, equino-valgus deformity at hind foot. See here, prominent rounded talar head as lowermost part of arch. This is rocker bottom foot. Various differential diagnoses that you will consider are flexible flat foot, inflammatory and infective foot disorders, neurological like arthrogryposis multiplex congenita and meningomyelocele. Compensatory, tight tendo-achilles with or without equinus deformity, external rotational deformity of lower limb. Do anterior and plantar flexion stress lateral views along with the routine PA and oblique projections. You will see on X-rays like calcaneum is in equinus, talus points vertically downward with its long axis almost parallel to that of tibia. Navicular is dislocated dorsally over talar head. In maximally plantar flexed view, navicular dislocation can be reduced in flexible flat foot but not in CVT. Talus remains vertical. Both talar first metatarsal angle and tibio-talar angle do not correct. In maximally dorsiflexed view, equinus at calcaneum is fixed. Now see, this is a AP view. You can see increased talar first metatarsal angle. It shows marked forefoot abduction. Increased talocalcaneal angle. In the lateral view, you will see increased talocalcaneal angle. You can see here disrupted talar first metatarsal angle. Line along long axis of talus and calcaneum passes inferior to cuboid, normally crosses cuboid. This is an X-ray of a normal child. You can see here long axis of first metatarsal is intersecting the axis of talus. It's in line with the long axis of talus. In this X-ray, this is X-ray of congenital vertical talus patient. You can see here long axis of metatarsal doesn't intersect the long axis of talus. So this is X-ray of congenital vertical talus patient. This is an X-ray of a patient with congenital vertical talus after 4 weeks of cast application. You can see here now Long axis of first metatarsal is intersecting the long axis of talus. Navicular ossification center appears at 3 years. Till then, first metatarsal is taken for calculation. Now see syndromes associated with CVT are CDH, CDK, CTEV of opposite foot, myelomeningocele sacral agenesis, caudal regression syndrome, spinal muscular atrophy, neurofibromatosis, trisomy 13, 15, 18, arthrogryposis multiplex congenita, prune belly syndrome, Marfan syndrome, multiple pterygium syndrome. Lichblue classification for CVT is teratogenic, neurogenic and acquired types. Teratogenic associated with CDH, often bilateral with positive family history, very rigid deformities. Neurogenic associated with myelomeningocele, neurofibromatosis, less rigid, and acquired type intrauterine malposition. Oblique talus is a condition where all deformities are present but navicular can be reduced over talar head in plantar flexion. In initial stages, serial corrective casts are applied. Aim is not to correct the deformities but to make skin and soft tissue supple. Forefoot is pulled into plantar flexion and inversion while calcaneus is dorsiflexed and heel cord stretched. Surgery is the definitive treatment. Surgery is to be done at the earliest possible time, preferably before 6 months of age. Your aim is talonavicular joint reduction, tendo-Achilles lengthening with or without capsulotomy of ankle and subtalar joints. Remember, distal transverse cut in TA is made laterally in congenital vertical talus because foot is in valgus, while it is made medially in CTEV as foot is in varus. Long toe extensors EHL, EDL, peroneus tertius and tibialis anterior, lengthening with Z-plasty with calcaneocuboid reduction. Dynamic sling of tibialis anterior through a drill hole in talar neck to prevent plantar flexion. Depending upon the age, the various modalities are 1 to 4 years, open reduction and realignment of talonavicular, calcaneocuboid and subtalar joints. Navicular excision, partial talectomy and decancellation of tarsal bones may be required for reduction in children older than 3 years. Lateral column lengthening may need to be added to navicular excision. In 4 to 8 years, open reduction, soft tissue release and extra-articular subtalar arthrodesis. May use intra-articular arthrodesis with screw fixation as well. A gap of 6 to 8 weeks is usually given between release and arthrodesis. Some surgeons perform talonavicular reduction with subtalar bone block in one stage, followed 6 to 8 weeks later by posterior release and tibialis anterior sling. More than 12 years, triple arthrodesis is done. Open reduction can be done in single stage or 2 stages. In one stage surgery, use either Cincinnati incision or combined lateral for tendo-Achilles and calcaneocuboid reduction and medial incision for talonavicular reduction. Kumar, Coville and Ramsey technique uses 3 incisions, that is medial lateral over sinus tarsi and posterior for tibialis anterior. In 2-stage surgery, first stage consists of dorsolateral release, that is reduce forefoot over midfoot. Second stage is posterolateral release, that is reduce midfoot over hindfoot. Reduction is held with threaded K-wires across talonavicular and subtalar joints. Attempt to reconstruct talonavicular ligament should be done. Long leg cast with knee flexed and joints reduced is applied for 2 months. Then wires are removed and another long leg cast is applied for 1 month. A short leg cast is continued for 1 more month, after which an ankle foot orthosis is applied for 3 to 6 months. Here you can see K-wire has been introduced into the talus posteriorly and then into the navicular after reduction. Ligaments which are released in the soft tissue surgery are talonavicular capsule, tibionavicular ligament, introitious talocalcaneal ligament and superficial part of deltoid ligament, calcaneocuboid ligament, calcaneofibular ligament, plantar calcaneonavicular, that is spring ligament. Common complications of congenital vertical talus are AVN of talus when operated, callosis in untreated or inadequately treated cases, and residual feet pain. Thank you so much for watching. If you like, subscribe.